For wool grower Julie Bird, hard times on the land meant she needed to improve her business. She began with sourcing more resilient sheep, then diversified and value-added, creating a Merino wool brand of sleepwear and casual garments. After 3 years, her Inverell store is going strong and her online store is exporting to the world. The result has been improved cash flow for the family business and an enterprise which is more satisfying and sustainable now than before the dark times hit.
About 5 years ago, my parents, my brother and I moved to the Inverell region, and we stocked a new property which needed a lot of work, and about a year later the drought hit, which wasn't a great start. So we destocked again, times were pretty tough because we hadn't had that income come through at that stage, but times were pretty tough for everyone in the whole region. It was relentless work feeding stock. We were lucky that we had some feed on the place, but we still had to supplement, and it's a large property with large distances involved in feeding stock. We're very lucky that we had water. A lot of people didn't have the water available. So yeah, we feel quite fortunate in many ways that we could get through with water in our major creeks. It was pretty tough, and I know we all got pretty stressed at times. It was dark times for everyone.
Disaster recovery was not an overnight process, and key for Ms. Bird was not just stoically running the business but making the time to work on the business.
Certainly did make us look outside the square about how we run our business and what we can do better. People tend to think that times are really good for farmers now because the stock are making a lot of money, but a lot of us are still paying off feed bills from drought time. But yeah, looking pretty good going forward for another good spring ahead, so we're feeling fairly positive. I did a lot of thinking about how we can have better, tougher livestock that suit our variable climate. We looked at improving our sheep genetics for a tougher, more robust animal that can browse on our native tea trees and other plants. When times are tough, ones that don't require mulesing, they're a non-wrinkly merino, so it's much better for animal welfare, and we have the meat market as well as the wool market, so in a way we've been forced to improve our sheep business.
Then they took the innovative step from primary production to retailing.
But the other thing I did was form a value-add business selling merino products, merino pyjamas and merino tees called Sleepy Merino. And it's really getting going now, but it took a fair bit to get it started, and I learnt a lot, something I'd never done before. I learnt about designing garments, about the whole retail business, and moving forward I've now got a shop in the town as well as the online business.
The diversification has greatly improved both work satisfaction and cash flow.
It's been really great. It was a positive for us all to be thinking about something other than the negatives of the livestock side of things. When things were tough, we were able to be creative and thinking about new ways of doing things. But other than that, it's actually been really good to diversify our income. Moving forward, it's given us that little bit of a regular income. It can be quite irregular income being a farmer. You might get your wool check once a year and your lambs are marketed once a year. I think the drought really made us think about how to do business better, both with the livestock business, bringing us ideas on better pastures that are much more resistant to tough environments and conditions, as well as better sheep that are able to resist climate change and and new ways of diversifying our income through the merino business as well.
Sleepy Merino has evolved from a means of survival and recovery to something with real growth potential.
I'm feeling really positive about this business. We're selling all over the world, particularly to United States, Canada, Finland, especially in Europe. Anywhere cold really loves the product. But the other exciting thing is that the number of times people are ordering and reordering and ordering again and again for friends and family. There's over 45% return customer base at this point in time, and the customers just absolutely love the product, and I get the most positive emails and calls about it, which makes you feel really good about what you're doing.
Julie hopes her business resilience, development and diversification story will educate and inspire others.
Being courageous really helps you to think outside the square and do things differently and better. And I think that I had things swimming along quite nicely, and that wasn't really forcing me to think outside the square. I think in a way the tough times really made me better and my business better.
Sleepy Merino garments are now being manufactured in the local region. The Organic T-shirt is a small clothing manufacturer that made a tree change to Glen Innes in 2022. Julie is all the more proud of her enterprise and what it represents. This is a Bushfire Community Recovery and Resilience Fund project, funded through the Joint Commonwealth State Disaster Recovery Funding Arrangements.